What the heck is Formula One?
Pole position, strategy,
yachts and parties,
safety car, Ferrari.
beautiful corners.
Oh, right, okay. There's a car in front of you. Try and overtake it.
Oh, I hate you so much.
Hello, you fools. Welcome to another Formula Fools podcast. I am David, your self-appointed expert, and with me is Skin, who is the local fool on the podcast. There's probably a line in between, but as I just said right before, I don't have the correct script in front of me. I probably should change that. It's my job.
Yeah, I suppose. Or you could also just treat it more like a conversation and not so scripted. Either or's fine.
No, we're ChatGPT's. I mean, I've been all over the script, so.
Oh, disc.
From pit lane antics to racing riddles, we're here to make you laugh, question your sanity. I always forget the and. Sit back, buckle up. It's time for Formula Fools. And then usually, we used to back in season 1, we would play the little thing, but we don't do that anymore. We don't talk about it either. We don't like to linger on the past, Skin.
Yeah. No, that's a good podcasting. Talk about stuff we don't do.
Yeah, that we haven't done for 8 months now. Something we do, go Skin, is the Hot Lap recap with Ryan Smith.
The race is over. It's that time in the show for the Hot Lap recap. Let's go.
All right, fools, it's your Hot Lap recap time, and I must say I'm putting a little bit more Hot Lap back into the recap this week after Dave told me to stop sandbagging for more airtime. It's a fair cop, Gov. Now, Monza gave us 2 stories. Max turning back into Max, and McLaren being reminded that they're not quite out of sight just yet. Now, up front, Verstappen, he went bold, didn't he? He stuck Lando on the grass at the start. He blew the first chicane and then got told to hand it back. But then he retook the lead into turn 1 on lap 4 and just like my airtime, folks, disappeared. It's his first win since Imola, and it's been a very Red Bull on a fast track kind of vibes whole weekend, hasn't it? Now, Lando had a nibble early on, and Oscar had a lunge or two as well while scrapping with Leclerc. But once Max cleared off, it was damage limitation for the papaya parade. Then came the spicy bit. Probably the only spicy bit, really, of the race. Now, McLaren left the stops late, didn't they? They gambled on that safety car. It didn't come. They pitted Oscar with Lando's approval. They pitted him first to keep him clear of Leclerc. And they promised Lando that there'd be no undercut. And then Lando's wheel gun coughed, didn't it? Oscar's stop, 1.9 seconds. Lando's, 5.9 seconds. Oscar emerged ahead. You can tell what happened next. The radio lights lit up, didn't they? Oscar, do you remember Hungary last year? Yeah, let Lando back through. Now, Oscar wasn't thrilled. He said, stops are a part of racing, right? Especially slow ones. But he did as he was told. And Lando called it at the end. He said, it's one that the team just got wrong this weekend. And Oscar later said, fair enough. Lando had been ahead all race, so it's only right that he got it back. Still, this one's going to hum all week in the debrief, isn't it? You can feel it right there. So, looking at the finishes then, Max P1 by a country mile, Norris P2 after the swapperoo, Piastri takes the final podium step, Leclerc a lonely P4, Russell P5, and Lewis made a tidy recovery to P6 on his Ferrari Monza debut after that grid penalty pushed him back at the start. Then Albon, P7, lovely job, Bortoletto P8, Antonelli took 9th, and Hadjar from 3rd last week back to 10th this time. And Alonso, bless him, brutal. Great qualifying. The undercut was on, and then the front suspension snapped over Ascari's curb, didn't it? This pretty much sums up his look this year. It's just not happening, is it? The championship picture then, Oscar's lead is trimmed by 3 points to 31 with only 8 races to go. McLaren's call keeps the title fight cleaner on paper, but slow stops do happen, and that is the awkward bit. Max's win looks maybe track specific, but it is a reminder that he's not gone anywhere. Next up, it's Baku. Long straights, winding walls, lots of wind, and zero patience for team politics. So pack the bravery and maybe a spare wheel gun. See you next time.
Go Skin.
Nice. Ryan, that's
Schlick.
he is in form.
Oh,
my
yeah.
man.
Yes.
That is, well, he's Pom. He's a Pommy. I was going to say something about an Australian cricketer, but that's Alistair Cook in his prime.
Alistair Cook.
Yes.
Yeah, not Alistair Cook.
Yeah, there's an I in there, isn't there?
Yeah, but it's just Alistair Cook.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't trust you.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. My brother's a cricket fan. I'm sure it's just Alistair Cook.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Maybe I've said that wrong my whole life. Anyway,
Yeah.
this is an F1 podcast.
This is an
F1.
F1,
Not
yeah.
be talking about Alistair Cook
Yeah.
anyway.
From Alistair Cook through to, you looked confused at one bit. What were you confused about?
Don't know. I don't remember. what bit was it? I don't know.
Wasn't it the Hungary bit from the 2020, from Hungary last year?
Oh, yeah, I was a bit confused about that. Essentially, I have a very short memory.
Yeah.
Like that fish in Finding Nemo.
Dory.
Dory.
Yeah.
What happened in Hungary? I heard him reference it in the
on TV post,
Yeah.
was it post race or something? I remember.
during race. The engineer
was it?
said it to Piastri as he was telling him to swap. He was like, "It's a bit like Hungary."
Yeah.
What are you? And it was like, it was all very awkward, and I didn't really get it because I can't remember what happened in Hungary last year.
Yeah, I should have looked it up because I also can't remember.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good F1 podcast. This
Yeah.
one.
We're the educational podcast, guys. We'll teach you everything you need to know. Yeah. Literally, as soon as he said it, I was like, I hope he talks about what happened because I fucking forgot.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I suppose we should start there.
We may as well
really.
start there. Yeah. So apparently something happened in Hungary last year. If anyone wants to let us know, drop a comment. Or do you know what? We'll just insert a little bit here from the end of the pod because we'll do some research.
I like it. But regardless of what happened in Hungary last year, I feel like you and I seem to have different takes on what happened in Monza this year for McLaren.
Okay.
It all seemed to make sense to me. I thought it was a big bunch of everyone making a fuss out of nothing with the McLaren team dynamics. It all seemed A-okay, and you seemed a bit bothered by it. What was your take on the McLaren situation?
That's the exact problem. We are watching the pinnacle of motorsport, the highest of high form of our sport possible. And we are seeing zero fucking emotion. Zero emotion. Like your brother Lee just won the T20 Max cricket comp thing that he's in over here in Australia.
Yeah.
There is a photo of him celebrating with his team afterwards, and they are all screaming at the top of their lungs. There is so much emotion in all them boys. Yet for this, it's just like, hey, Oscar, so we messed up. Can you make up for our mistake by giving Lando the place back? And Oscar, yeah, cool, let's do it. And then we can all be best friends. It's just fucking bullshit. Like, it's so child, like, everyone's a winner. Everyone gets a participation trophy. Like, fuck. It is the fastest form of motorsport. These are the best athletes in the world, apparently. And yet we're toddling along like we're 5-year-olds. Like, it's bullshit. Like, let's have some racing. Let's have some emotion. 2021, everyone slated Lewis and Max at different times through 2021 for being overly emotional or overly dramatic or overly attacking. But it was a fucking good season. We've got 2 teammates battling for the win. We've not had this since 2016. And they're just fucking, after you. Oh, after you. Oh, after you. I just want some emotion. I want some, like, racing. I want Oscar to be like, nah, fuck off. If he wants to get by, he can get by. That's all I want.
Okay.
I also think it was kind of like Lando kind of shot himself in the foot. Like, he kind of deserves it.
How do you mean?
Well,
he didn't personally get out and do a better job
but they
of
said
changing
to
the
him,
front left tire.
They said to him, hey, do you want to pit now or do you want to wait another lap? And he was like, I'll let Oscar go. Like, I'm not being funny, but mistakes can happen. It could have happened in the first pit stop, but like, you take your first opportunity. You don't hand it to your competitor. Like, I'm sorry, but if that was, hey, do you reckon we should pit now, or should we phone Red Bull and let Max pit first? It wouldn't be the same result.
Well, it's a weird dynamic in that you say competitor, but he's also a teammate.
Yeah, but
so
okay,
it's not like you're just handing a gift to a competitor. You're also trying to optimize the team's points.
Okay, right. Let's talk about that. Next week in Baku, McLaren mathematically will win this World Championship. So that means next week, 2 weeks, whatever it is. Next time out in Baku, they're going to have the Constructors' Championship done.
Locked in.
No one can beat them. Even if they DNF every single race, no one can beat them.
Sure.
So at this point in the season, who gives a fuck about the Constructors? It's over. Like they've won.
No, well, in 2 weeks' time.
No. Come on.
In 2 weeks' time.
It's
Jess.
done.
At
It's
this point of the
done.
season, it's not done.
It's done.
And the team dynamic is important.
Okay, right. Let's say that they both crashed at Monza and DNF, both DNF'd. Are you telling me that for the remaining 8 races after this, they would continue to crash and DNF?
Well,
no, they would win, and they would still win the Constructors' Championship.
Don't count your chickens before they've hatched or whatever that saying is.
I'm not. I just
eggs.
want a little bit of. You know what I would have loved? Because I can't remember when it was, but it was a few weeks ago, or maybe it was a bit longer ago, maybe before some like first part of the season. Oscar got given a penalty for something. Remember the safety car infringement when he like slowed down and Max almost hit the back of him?
I do, yeah.
And he got given a penalty.
Yes.
And the team disagreed with the penalty. And they told him on the radio, we disagree with the penalty.
Yes.
Oscar came on the radio and said to them, if you, as my team, disagree with the penalty, let's swap the positions back between me and Lando. And the team said no. What's the difference? What's the difference? It was a third-party thing that happened to Oscar there, just like it's a third-party thing that happened to Lando here. Wasn't Lando, wasn't Oscar, neither of them two disobeyed an order. It was something out of their control that happened to them that then determined what the team do. If you ask me, this shows McLaren's bias towards Lando more than ever before.
You're not about to go on this whole racist English people thing, are you again?
No, I'm just no. It's just more so that like Lando's engine blew up last week, and there was did you see the video of Isaac Hadjar when he got out of the car and he like was looking around for his team, and Zach Brown was stood next to him, and Zach Brown was looking really pissed, and then he saw the camera was on him, and then he's like looking at Oscar getting out his car, and he's like angry, and then he sees the camera and he goes puts on like the fakest smile, and there was so many memes that were just like, it was like when your favorite crashes out, but you've got to be happy for your second child or something like that. Like it was all that kind of like shit. But come on,
classic conspiracy theorist.
You can't tell me he's not. Like I've been trying all season to be like, no, they're joined. I think literally 2 weeks ago on the pod, I was like, no, they're joined. They're equal parties in this. They're not. They favor Lando. They do, and I'm not talking about British media, although they do. But I'm talking about the team. I'm talking about Zach. Zach favors Lando.
Okay. No. You're a flog, dude. How do you figure? I love it. Lando's offered up this pit stop, right? Yep. To do the right thing by the team at a point in the season where the team championship is not locked in just yet. Like about as close as you can possibly get, but not quite.
Literally.
Not quite.
We're 99.9% there.
Not quite. He's done the team thing, given Lando this early pit stop, which I don't entirely understand because I'm the fool on the podcast, but presumably something about undercutting, maybe, I don't know, getting...
It did nothing for his race.
He gets slightly further ahead of Charles, has the earlier pit stop, he's less likely to get overtaken by Charles. I assume that's the theory.
Nope.
Yes, Disc.
No, genuinely now, that's genuinely not what happened. The reason Lando did it, and I fully understand and agree with why Lando did it, is that he was waiting for a safety car. So if a safety car had come, there's more chance of him pitting behind a safety car and then overtaking Max. It was selfish from him, but I understand why he did it. Because at that point in the race, let's say he had a normal pit stop, he wasn't going to lose P2. Like he had Oscar covered. They both had Charles covered. So at that point for him, it was like the only like Hail Mary to get past Max was a safety car, put softs on, beat Max on the softs at the end. That was literally the only way he was going to win the race. And that's what he was holding out every lap for a safety car.
So you think he gave Oscar the earlier pit stop selfishly rather than as a team player?
Yeah. 100%. And I think that's the right decision. I'll also just...
right decision for his race.
For his race. Right. I don't think Lando has done anything wrong here. I'm not saying Lando's in the wrong for being the favorite, but he's the favorite. 100%. But sorry, you keep going, but that's why he gave Oscar the pit stop.
Okay. All right. Interesting. That's a nice conspiracy theory as well. But anyway, so...
that's locked.
You think that's pretty obvious?
I'm sure the commentator said something like that as well, yeah.
It really seemed like he listened to the commentators. It sounded a lot like, to me at least, like he was doing the team thing by giving Oscar an advantage over Charles and helping him get in front of Charles and make sure. I think
at that point, Charles was 6, maybe 7 seconds behind. Like, Charles was not a worry for them.
Okay.
That late in the race, going on to soft when Charles was on medium, on hards, not a worry for him at all.
Right. I haven't got much then. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know.
So this is my point. It's like Lando could have
I
taken
guess Lando's being would if they did what you said and didn't swap him back, Lando's getting punished for something that's not his mistake at all.
For
Right?
sure,
He's had the greatest weekend, not the greatest, but
out of the two McLarens, he's been the better one.
He's had the better
100%.
weekend.
Yeah.
He's in front. He's led the race the whole way.
Deserved to beat Oscar for sure. I'm
Some
not disagreeing with
doesn't
that.
realise that his bloody gun's not done up tight enough, and it's like, unlucky, brother.
Yeah, I agree. But guess what? That's racing. Like, that's racing.
I suppose. But you say they're the best athletes in the world, right? You say they're these great athletes.
Yeah.
You know who's not the greatest athlete in the world?
The wheel gunner.
The bloke on the wheel gunner.
But mate, the wheel gunner is trust me, not everyone can do that job. That is a fucking hard job.
No, yeah, I appreciate
these guys
that.
are
but it's not
athletes.
The difference between the two. Who's the better driver shouldn't be decided by the bloke on the front left
That's
wheel.
racing. What if Lando was overtaking a back marker hit him? That's not Lando's fault. That's someone else's fault.
No, it's not. But it's also
What
not
if
something
Lando's
the
engine
team
blew up
can
again?
control.
What if Lando's engine blew up again? What if he had a gearbox issue? What if he had an electrical issue?
There's a difference between talking about
No,
things.
there's not.
There is.
There's not.
There's a
Championships have been won and lost in the pits, and this is just another reason where this is just another thing where it's like, this is racing. This is what motorsport is. If you want to blame an element of the sport for the reason you're going to lose a race, don't fucking compete in the sport.
Okay, that's fine. But there are elements the team can control and there are elements the team cannot control.
No,
the team
wrong.
cannot necessarily control the engine blowing up. I mean, presumably.
How do we know
probably
that
could,
wheel gun wasn't faulty and it was a fault with the wheel gun, not just the guy messing up? Because his light flashed green before it went red. So to him, that nut was on tight enough.
Okay.
Could be a wheel gun issue.
Righto. All right. Anyway, yeah, I feel like we've harped on that way too long.
No,
okay,
we keep going for another 7
McLaren
hours.
have some weird dynamic that no one knows how to solve. So that's great.
Do you know what
Let's
I will
talk
say
about-
though, just on from Oscar's side, because I feel like I've defended Lando a bit there, like with saying like he was doing it from a selfish point of view to try and win the race, which I think anyone that was in Lando's position would have done the exact same thing. Even in fact, this is 100% confirmed in the cool down room afterwards, when Carlos and Thingy had their spin when they hit each other.
Yep.
Max said he saw it on a screen and he was saying to himself in the car, "Don't go in the gravel." And the camera pans to Lando and Lando was going, "That's funny because I saw it and I was thinking, please go in the gravel," as in he wants a safety car. So that's literally Lando saying, "I was hoping for a safety car at that point in the race," because he knew that was the only way of him winning that race at that point, because Max was like 15 seconds ahead. So I'll defend Lando there and say that's why he gave that second pit stop away. Obviously, if he knew at the time the second pit stop was going to be 4 seconds slower, he would never have done it. But from Oscar's point of view, I think what he's done there is the best thing for him as a driver, as a selfish act for himself. Because he will win this world championship, I reckon.
Mm.
And when he does, no one can say it was handed to you. No one can say you didn't play the team game. No one can say you weren't a good competitor. He's been the biggest man out of all of that team. Lando, throughout this season, has thrown his toys out the pram. He's gotten sulky. He's had to be micromanaged by his engineer. Oscar has not had any of that. He's taken shit on his chest, and when he's made a mistake, he's owned his mistakes.
Mm.
And that was just another thing where the team asked him a favor and he went, "Fuck yeah." And when he wins this world championship next year, I pray that he comes out all guns blazing, doesn't give a fuck, because what are they going to do? Sack him? Are they going to sack their first world champion in fucking 17 years for McLaren?
Yeah, shit.
No, they're not going to do that.
I see what you're saying. Also, I do think it seems like the biggest like drama around this whole team dynamic, right? But at the end of the day, the commentators keep talking about how the drivers aren't going to go against their team orders because they need the team in order to win championships.
Yeah,
They
which
need
is also just... Ugh.
You don't like that. How do you not like that?
Because again, it's a ribbon for third place. It's a ribbon for fourth place. It's fucking childish behavior.
How's that childish behavior?
Mate, just watch...
Recognizing that you're part of a team in a team sport and trying to optimize for winning the competition at the end of the season.
But again, it's just like the team side of this sport this season is done. Let them be selfish now. Like, let them be selfish. That's what
the
I'm
week
saying
after next, yeah.
No, this week. They could have fucking done it 5 weeks ago and they'd be sweet. I just think it's Wienersville. And I think when you look at the history of our sport and you look at great rivalries like Lewis versus Nico in 2016, Seb versus Webber with Multi 21, when we look at like David Coulthard versus Mika Hakkinen, Schumacher versus Barrichello, Senna versus Prost, Hill versus Jacques, like when we look at all of the greats throughout the history of our sport, they've all competed with their teammates and they've all put themselves first.
Yeah, and up until this year,
and it's
every time we've spoken about teammates who have competed against each other, everyone said, "Mate, it is fucked having two number one drivers. You don't want that. What you want is one bloke who's good at driving and one donut in the next car."
No, not a donut. You want a perfect number two.
That's what everyone said about having picking their two drivers up until this year, and finally we've got a team who's like, hey. The team will help you win, will help you maximize the points. We can have two good drivers. We can have one really, really good team and one really, really fast car, and you can both have a really good crack, and let's see who wins the world championship.
But they're not letting them see who wins the world championship, because when a racing incident happens to Lando and he loses second place, they are dictating the outcome of the race by telling Oscar to move. So tell me how that's fair. You can't have two number ones and have two world champions. There's one world champion at the end of the year. And one of them two is going to be unhappy. And I guarantee this is all going to come back to bite McLaren in the arse.
I disagree. But we're fucking 25 minutes into the podcast. We haven't spoken about anything else.
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
No, it's brilliant. This is going to be the highest rated podcast. There's going to be so many arguments with me and Skin.
You're
I love it.
Fool.
I am.
We've somehow started at the end. Let's start at the start. The start of the race.
Yeah. I had more notes on the start of the race, and everything for that end of the race was just opinions.
Yeah, okay, perfect. The start of the race, I was really surprised by how aggressive Oscar was.
Yeah.
He got overtaken by Charles and then overtook him, and then got overtaken and then overtook him, I think. And it was...
But Charles' overtakes but from both of them were fucking fantastic, weren't they?
Yeah.
The first note I wrote down on these overtakes was, fuck yes, we have racing. Because we had like Max and Lando like battling each other and like really actually overtaking each other.
Yep.
We had Charles and Oscar genuinely overtaking each other. Like Lewis was making some ground up. Like it was fucking good racing the first like 10 laps.
Oh yeah, it was all happening for a while there. It got boring toward the end, but that happens.
Yeah.
But at the start, I was really surprised by how aggressive Oscar was, right? Like he's leading the world championship. Surely all he would want to do at the start of the race is not crash out.
Yeah.
And he was just like dive bombing. He was like this close to Charles's car all the time. What was that all
There
about?
was two occasions, I think Martin said it on the commentary as well, that he was like risking his front wing.
Yeah, why would he do that?
I have no clue. Like he was He was
just in a mood.
He was just aggressive. He just wanted to fucking overtake. And I don't know why, because... And again, hindsight's great, but like as the race panned out, he had Charles covered fairly comfortably.
Yeah.
But it was, some of them moves were risky for a championship leader.
Why is that, do you think? Like, why would it be that at the start of the race, they're so closely matched, Charles is able to overtake him a couple of times, and then by the end of the race, there's like a 10-second gap between the two of them, and the McLaren just streaks ahead. I know, obviously, they're running out of fuel throughout the race, and things are changing about the car and stuff. But what would it be that makes it so much tighter at the start than the end?
It's just that they're together on track. Like Oscar will have had dirtier from both Max and Lando ahead of him. So like front end washout through some of the faster speed stuff, like the Parabolica. Last corner, like you might get a bit of front end washout. We've seen it in the past. People like drift out wide or just have to ease off the throttle a little bit. So that'll keep Charles in contention for it. Which he will get dirtier as well. But kind of everyone, it kind of just keeps the pack closer. And then it's the reason that they're so spread at the end. It's just kind of compiling interest, isn't it? Like if the thing with this season versus 22-23 with the Red Bull being so much quicker was in 22-23. The Red Bull was a second a lap faster than everyone, whereas the McLaren's like 3-4 tenths a lap faster than everyone. So at the end of the race, they're going to be 10 seconds ahead or whatever it works out to be.
Sure.
Can't explain Max's gap at the end, to be honest with you. I don't know where the fuck that speed came from.
Oh, that's annoying. That was definitely one of my questions.
No clue. I have a theory, but I don't know.
Okay.
But like that's the main reason why they're further away at the end versus the beginning. The weight does play into it quite a lot with heavier fuel. Everyone starts on the same tires as well. Like they were all fresh hard tires, and they're all coming out of tire blankets and after a warm up. So usually they're all around the same temperature. Whereas we know that the McLarens perform way better. Like they look after their tires more the longer they go into a race. Like we saw that close up of Max's front tires, right? And they were blistered and fogged. Whereas the McLarens were still, they went for another like 7 laps or whatever it was. So, you know, we know that McLarens can keep their tires in a good window for longer compared to everyone else.
Okay. I feel like we're not doing a great job of starting at the start and going through.
Yeah.
But now that you've mentioned the blistering, I've got to ask, what's the difference between blistering and marbling?
Good question.
Thank you.
Marbling is usually when the outside of the tire, so the surface of the tire starts to degrade and break away from the tire. So it'll create like literally things that look like little marbles of rubber, which get flung off and they'll gather on the side of the track and whatever. So that's marbling. So that's just the tire separating from itself, which is what every tire, even your road tires, is designed to do. Road tires obviously a lot slower. You don't see it like that, but it's designed to wear away the outer layer first. Blistering is when the heat comes from the center of the tire. So the air that's inside of the tire gets really hot. It heats up the tire from the inside out because your brake drums are hot, and that's, you know, distributing the heat from the inside out. And so then you create blisters like an ulcer or something in your mouth. It creates under the surface and then it starts to break through the surface. And then you've got a cavity that's leading through into the tire. So it's really bad because that if it's a deep blister, they can go right down to the carcass of the tire, and you can have tire blowouts. You can have slow punctures, things like that can come from major blistering, which is what Max had. Like that was really bad blistering. To see the band, like it was like over half his tire was blistered on one continuous thing. That was really I'm surprised we didn't see a slow puncture or a tire blow from him.
Yeah. Well, they didn't even seem particularly fussed about it. Like we noticed that on, I don't know what lap it was, but
yeah.
And then the way they were talking about it, I was like, wow, he has to go into the pits now. And his tire's about to explode.
Yeah, I thought.
And then he drove another like however many laps.
I think he did another 6-7 laps or maybe 8 laps.
It didn't seem to mind too much.
They would have just said to him, hey, we're going to do major tire saving. Don't run on the curbs. Don't carry too much speed into the fast speed corners like Parabolica, where you're going to lean onto the tires a lot. And there would have been a bit more lifting and coasting. So there would have just been, there are ways you can manage it so that it doesn't get significantly worse really quick. And they've got so many sensors on the tires and things like that can read whether they'll have a slow puncture or anything. So they would have been monitoring that I don't imagine sitting on the Red Bull pit wall, they were calm at all. Like Max may have made it look calm, but they wouldn't have been. There would have been a lot of people scared about that tire blowing.
Gotcha. Okay. And then so back to the start, Max and Lando also versing each other.
Yep.
I think the first corner, is it the first corner? The little tight.
The chicane, the 1-2. Yeah.
Yep. And so there's some drama there where Max ends up off the track.
Yeah.
And has to give the place to Lando.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps saying that he had to give the place back to Lando.
But Lando never had the place.
Which is where my confusion comes in. Lando did not have the place.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was so confusing to me as well. Yeah.
Like I feel like this is that thing that I keep getting confused about who's got the corner depending on where your fucking tire axis is or something like. But it just seems so strange to me. Normally when you hear that, it's like someone's dive bombing down trying to make some bold overtake. They screw it up, go off the track, and then they've obviously got to hand the place back. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
When Max was already in front, he's on pole, he's in front of Lando. Why would he give the place back? Like if you get forced off the track, surely just carry on, my friend.
Yeah. Well, that would be the dream. And Lewis Hamilton definitely did that in the 2021 season when he tried to cheat and win and didn't get a penalty for it. But I digress. Yeah, no, it's one of the most confusing rules in F1. This one was quite confusing. Lando's view of it, I think when you look at Lando's on board of it, makes it, I think that's why Red Bull would have looked at that and that's why they told him to swap it, to give it back, because Lando was going to overtake him. There was no way Max was going to he was never going to make that corner. So that's Max premeditating that he's going to cut the corner to keep the position.
Right.
Or he's come off the brakes late, or, you know, like there's a series of events that would have happened in his brain or through his left foot with his brake pedal to not make that apex. So he's made a decision somewhere to overshoot the corner, cut the corner to maintain the position. So that's where it comes into play, is like you were never aiming. Take Lando out of the equation, Max does the exact same thing. He still wouldn't have been able to make that corner.
Right.
So unless he severely locked up or whatever, which he didn't do. So because of that, the intention was not from Max was not to make the corner. So it was, you need to give it back. We saw later on with Carlos, he did that one where he went off at the other chicane He went off and kind of didn't go around the yellow thing and whatever, but he significantly lifted off the throttle. I think we saw it with a couple of other people as well. They did something similar and came off the throttle and gave the time back that you would have gained. And that's where the difference is. But because this was, Lando was making an overtaking move, that's why he had to give the position back.
Gotcha. Okay. And then follow-up question. So early on, we said early on, there's a lot of excitement happening. Everyone's overtaken these first 10 laps, right?
Yeah.
Seems like all of the overtakes, more or less, the vast majority of the overtakes are through these like turns 1 and 2, this chicane thing, which just looks like a stupidly tight part of the track. Every time you watch someone overtake, you're thinking these idiots are about to crash.
Yeah.
Why do they keep overtaking there? What's wrong with the straight before it?
It's well, this is the thing that because Parabolica is so quick, which is the last corner, it's a very quick swooping right-hander. Because that is such a quick bit, and in fact, like the whole of the last section is stupidly quick because you've got I can't remember what the chicane before Parabolica is, but you've got that kind of like left-right chicane, which isn't really a fucking, like they break into it, and then the moment they're straight, they're full throttle, so it's not really a chicane anymore. They're full throttle from there all the way up that back straight, around Parabolica, all the way down the main straight until that braking zone. And because it's such a tight corner, it's the deepest and hardest braking zone. So it's the best opportunity you've got on the track to make a dive bomb or to make the difference up on track with a few meters under braking. There's no other corner that you can make that much time on your opponent. So therefore it's the best overtaking opportunity. I will say, I think they may have changed the camera angles, or they may have not shown the best camera angles of it this season, because it looks really tight on TV. But
all right, fools, it's your hot lap recap time, and I must say,
but when you see it from a different angle or you watch it from the onboards, it is a little bit wider, and so like it's a good overtaking spot. I would say it's the main overtaking spot on that track. Like the fact we saw some other overtakes later on through the Degners and through that other chicane that Carlos like straight lined, basically like that. We don't usually see many overtakes through them corners as much as the first corner. So yeah, it's just a great spot to overtake to the braking zone.
Okay.
I did want to talk. We spoke about Carlos a little bit in there. I did want to talk about Carlos versus the FIA round 2. Williams are obviously protesting that stupid penalty that he got last week, but Carlos was involved in another incident this week with Isaac Hadjar. No. Ollie Behrman.
Yes.
Was it Ollie or was it Esteban?
Couldn't tell you.
It was a Haas.
Yep.
He was involved in another one. I think it was Ollie, where he was going around the outside. He's kind of cut across in front of Ollie. Ollie's tagged his rear tyre, spanned them both round. Ollie got given a 10-second penalty. I'm confused because I was confused about Carlos's penalty last week as the one defending.
Yep.
And I'm confused why Ollie got a penalty this week as the one defending.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. This one was more clear cut as a racing incident for me because Carlos was 100% ahead turning into the apex. Like he was 100% ahead by the braking point.
Yeah.
But he was also ahead turning into the apex. So Ollie, from Carlos's point of view, he should have given Ollie more space on the inside. From Ollie's point of view, he should have seen that Carlos was ahead and backed off a bit more.
Yeah.
So they're both at fault. Racing incident.
Okay.
I think Ollie's penalty is ridiculously harsh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. You've kind of flipped the podcast on its head, Dave. I certainly don't have the answers. If anything, if anything, I was confused about watching it live. I just assumed it was completely Carlos's fault, to be honest, because I don't understand this whole fucking who's in front of the corner and stuff. I don't have a great understanding.
From the angle that they were shown it as well, it looked like Carlos. The first time I saw it, I was like, "Oh, Carlos, you're fucked."
Yeah, it looked like he just drives straight into it. And then I think from Ollie's, like from the video inside the cockpit here or whatever, he's like, it's like he just thought I wasn't here. Yeah. I was like, that's exactly what it looks like.
What he thought. Yeah.
But I guess in hindsight, like, yeah, if say half of Carlos's car was in front of Ollie's, then he really could have just like hopped on the brakes a little bit and not been there.
Yeah. And I think that's what Carlos was assuming. I don't think he was assuming he wasn't there. I think he was assuming Ollie was going to do the right thing and back off, which is kind of what he should have done.
Yeah, okay.
But definitely Ollie didn't deserve a penalty. I thought that was so fucking harsh.
Right.
But just this, in the exact same vein that I don't think Carlos, Liam deserved the penalty last week, not Carlos. It was the opposite. But like Carlos is that other car last week, like it's a very similar thing, but
Did
this
you say
is more.
They're still fighting that penalty?
They protested it. So I think James Vowles put a post out this week saying that it will be reviewed after Monza. So I think this week now, the FIA will review it and they'll go to like a court of appeal and things like that.
What are they hoping to get out of it? They're surely not going to change the race result.
No. And it's more that Carlos got 2 penalty points on his license for the incident. So they more just want to overturn that because it's just not fair that he got the penalty. That's bullshit and like ruined his race. But moving forward, them 2 penalty points could come back to haunt him in beginning of next season when we're going to be competitive. So, we just don't want them on his license. So it's not going to affect anything from the race. It's just for the future of Carlos's, not getting a race ban or anything.
All right.
So as Ryan mentioned in his hot lap recap, we do have Baku coming up next, which is a formidable street circuit. We spoke about it a little bit on a podcast, which is coming out next week with the new regulations. It has one of the longest straights, or the longest straight, I think. It's certainly the fastest straight in Formula One. And seeing as we just saw the fastest ever F1 race and the fastest ever Formula One lap time, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that could be broken this weekend because it's not as fast as Monza, but the fastest lap time could be broken because there's a lot of like long straights at Baku.
Okay.
There is also a lot of like 90-degree right-hand corners. 90-degree?
That's a thing.
Right angle corners.
Yeah.
Right, 90 degrees, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Explain this fastest lap of all time to me. Is that because obviously the lap time is specific to the track?
Yeah. So
is it just a shorter track or is that based on the average speed of the car around the lap?
I don't know. Because they did it with the speed, not the time. So I don't know.
Okay. Well, thanks, Disc. You're a little expert.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Someone will let us know. I'm sure it means literally the fastest, like a 117 or 118.7.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But that's not, isn't it? I feel like haven't we had tracks this year where
I don't know.
The qualifying times have been like 109 and stuff, or am I making that up?
Oh, I don't know. 109 seems quite short.
Does it? Okay,
yeah.
Sorry. Anyway.
Go skiing.
Yeah.
So Baku's got a lot of long straights. It's got a lot of right-hand corners. We've seen a lot of crashes here because of the angled corners being like very harsh braking zones, deep braking zones. So watch out for that. Could be some crashes. Temperature is always a thing here. So we always have tire deg as an issue. We've had, over the years we saw, I think it was 2021, we saw both Lance and Max had tire blowouts on the main straight, completely random because of degradation. And based on the degradation we saw at Monza, I'm hoping we get the same because that could introduce another element of strategy, maybe a 2-stopper or something like that. But yeah, that's the main things to look out for in Baku. I don't imagine it's going to be the most interesting race. It looks like McLaren are going to fucking dominate it like they have done most of the street circuits this year. So yeah, watch qualifying because I reckon that's where it will be done.
Nice. When you say it looks like McLaren are going to dominate.
Yep.
Red Bull just dominated.
Yeah. Yeah, I really can't explain that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm stumped. Like, they finished 19 seconds ahead of the McLarens.
Yeah. Is that just like is that very track specific? Is there something about the Red Bull that would perform so much better at Monza? What is that all about?
So my theory here is we know the Red Bull has one of the best downforce systems, DRS systems in terms of getting peak performance out of your DRS. So McLaren has one of the worst ones on the grid. So that means when the DRS is fully open, they gain more kilometers per hour during the DRS zones than the McLarens do. So for qualifying, it was a very big surprise that Max got pole, but it wasn't a crazy big surprise because we know Red Bull have this, bigger, more efficient DRS system. The thing that was crazy was the 19 seconds. I can't figure that out. My only theory would be around that. There was a photo I saw like literally 5 minutes before we started recording. I loaded Instagram and I saw a photo and I don't have it anywhere. I'll try and insert it in the video of Verstappen's rear wing in free practice versus qualifying. And it's like, the difference is like this thick to this thick. So they just shaved off shit tons of downforce. So his straight line speed would be huge. And I think they said during the commentary that I think Crofty said he was talking to Lauren Meckies, the Red Bull team principal, and he said that Max pushed them in a downforce direction that they weren't comfortable with. And so he was shocked that it paid off in qualifying and he got the pole lap. But it was Max pushing for that lower, like extreme low downforce setup. So that's my theory. But I still don't think that can't be 19 seconds worth, because we've seen McLaren dominate by over 19 seconds versus the Red Bull. So it's just like...
So you're not expecting Red Bull to keep that form toward the end of the season?
No, I'm not expecting that to be a thing. Especially at circuits like Baku. Like we've seen them not perform great at similar circuits. So I think McLaren they'll be back on and they'll win the Constructors next week.
Okay.
Well, that wraps up another lap of the Formula Fools podcast. It is now your turn to join the Fools family by connecting with us on social media. We are at Formula Fools on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. We are Formula_Fools.
Oh, yeah. You can also leave us a rating and review wherever you're listening. That would be greatly appreciated. Apple, Spotify, places like this. The 5-star variety is always nice if you're offering, and one day we will get to reading a couple of them out on the podcast. We promise that every few weeks, and we do it every few more weeks than that.
Yep. I also put a thing out on socials today saying we're going to do a Listen to the Fools. We're 44 minutes in because me and Skin argued for 25 minutes. So sorry that didn't happen.
That'll be a little bonus episode.
Oh, yeah.
6 weeks' time.
6 week business years. What do I usually say at the end? Thank you for joining us at Formula Fools, where every turn is a chance for a good laugh. We'll see you next time.